Hi guys and welcome to today's video. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be playing around with the NABLA Blackberry Cutie 5 palette. I've actually been playing around with all of the new NABLA palettes. So NABLA came out with 3 Cutie palettes. They actually already have 2 in their collection. They have the Cutie 1, Cutie 2, which is like a coral and a nude palette, and I've always wanted to try them out, but they've been a little bit pricey for my liking. They're like £21, and I've always kind of waited for a little bit of a discount because I didn't really want to pay £21 for a palette that I'd never tried before. But recently NABLA came out with 3 more Cutie palettes, and I had a look on Beauty Bay to go add them to my basket, to go give them a little bit of a love heart to see if they ever came down in price, and they were already 15% off the day of release, which I was so ecstatic about because I've always wanted to try NABLA but didn't really know how to take the plunge, and I just saw this as a sign, I saw it as a calling that I needed to pick up all 3 of these. I've actually already done a video with the Metropolitan palette and the Platinum palette, which is palettes 3 and 4, so if you'd like to go watch those, I'll link them up in the eye for you. But today we're going to be playing around with the NABLA Blackberry, which is palette number 5. I am so excited for this. I haven't actually opened this up yet. I've been opening up with you every time so I can kind of get a first impression. Haven't touched them, haven't opened it up, so hopefully they're not all broken. That would be really great. They come in this sort of plastic unicarton packaging, which, not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of. I actually said that in my previous video that I can only throw this away. There's no point in me keeping this. There's a list of ingredients in the back, I think that's it. So if you want to keep it for ingredients, that's great, but I'm not really too bothered about that, to be honest with you. But apart from that, the packaging is stunning. So if you're unfamiliar with the Cutie palettes, this is a 6-pan palette by NABLA. Look at this, look how gorgeous this is. It's got like berries on this trellis just growing. It's absolutely stunning. I'm absolutely obsessed. This is probably my favourite packaging out of all 3 of them. Like I said, I'll leave the link for those up in the eye, but I'm really excited to play with this one. I feel like it's like the best to last, maybe. You get this little plastic slip over the shadows to keep them safe, which I personally do prefer. I would have preferred no unicarton packaging. I would have preferred like a paper or cardboard slip, but I do quite like the plastic slip to really protect the shadows. It stops them all falling into one another if they're broken or anything. But this is what the palette looks like inside. It's so delicious. It comes with a mirror. I've kind of explained this in every video so far, but I'll just touch up on it again if you haven't seen those. I use a mirror this size for my full face, and this mirror is very, very generous. I can see into my entire face. I probably say I can see this much of my face, so if you wanted a mirror to see in your entire face all at once, which is this sort of size that I like, then this size will do in a pinch, but you can see your eyes no problem. And I've been using these mirrors to do my eye makeup with all 3 of these palettes, and I've really enjoyed it. So the quality of the packaging, everything is beautiful. I'm really impressed, and I feel like I can see where the money's gone into this packaging. You've got kind of different textural things going on with the packaging. It just feels really rich, really expensive, and I really, really appreciate it. So let's get into the palette and just show you what it looks like. So inside this palette you've got 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. Unlike the other 2 palettes where you had 2 mattes and 4 shimmers, this palette you have 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. So I'm really, really excited about this. So you've got this silvery, it's kind of silver turn purpley pink base, which is really, really cool. I'm really excited to try this out. You've got a shimmer there, and then you've got the matte kind of warm cocoa-y brown here with a hint of burgundy in it, and then you've got this lovely, lovely berry colour, like a raspberry strawberry red, very kind of pinky red, really like that. And then you've got this beautiful almost magenta blackberry shade, really, really like this. And you've got a nudie shade right here, which is kind of a bit peachy with some shimmer in, and then you've got a really beautiful like light pink shimmer. So the shades are all beautiful, and I think they are all really cohesive with the palette. Cohesive, is that the right word I'm trying to use? But like, it all looks stunning, so I cannot wait to apply this to my eyes. Let's do some live swatches for you, because we all know I'm really good at live swatches, don't we? I'm terrible at live swatches, so apologies if my swatches are terrible, but I think it's really beneficial for you guys to see with such a small palette and in such an investment, to see how these shadows perform in all their glory. So getting straight into it, I'm going to go into the shade Incense. It kind of looks like a satin the way it's pressed. It's like a peachy, really peachy matte colour. Ooh, that's really interesting. Is this a matte? What is that? I have no idea, but let's give it a swatch. So this is the shade Incense. Oh my god, that was so buttery. Oh my goodness. That's like a really beautiful satin. It's like a really, really creamy matte. That is absolutely gorgeous. The next shade we have here is Venom, which is this beautiful magenta-y sort of purpley pink. Oh my goodness, looks beautiful. There we go, that's that shade there, Venom. One swatch, absolutely beautiful, full pigment. Hopefully it's focusing. I can see the camera's focusing on my face, but there it is right there. Absolutely beautiful shade. And I think the shade here is Bucolic Baby. I think that's how it's said, Bucolic Baby. I'm not too sure, but we're gonna go into that shade. This is our shimmery pink with a hint of gold in. Ooh, looks delicious. So there it is, Bucolic Baby. I'm just gonna, there we go. Interesting, I actually really like that shade. It's a very wearable shade. I'm then going to go into the shade Alchemy 2.0. I actually believe there is an Alchemy, like there's an original Alchemy shade in another NABLA palette. This one I think is just like the same shade but slightly different. From what I believe, I think this is more of a topper shade, whereas Alchemy, like just Alchemy, is more of a metallic shade, whereas Alchemy 2.0 is more of a topper. So let's just see how this swatches. So there it is, that is Alchemy 2.0. Yeah, that's definitely a topper shade. That is beautiful. Hopefully the camera's focusing, I'm so sorry, but Alchemy 2.0 here is very much a topper shade. I feel like that would be beautiful in the inner corner or just tapped on top of a shade such as the Incense one. That's really, really beautiful. It's got a lovely base to it and beautiful purple, almost like purpley blue shimmer actually, really pretty. I'm then going to go into the shade Blackberry, this one here, which is like that brown with a hint of magenta, like I said. Oh, actually it's more purpley than I was expecting. Okay, so this is the shade Blackberry. Oh, a tiny bit of skipping, but that might be my swatch. Really, really pretty. There's I think that is because my swatch that's skipping, but that is really, really pretty. Really pretty. It's kind of like a purpley brown, a really, really deep purpley brown, just like a blackberry, I suppose. That makes sense, doesn't it? And the last one we have here is a Botanic Juice. I actually love this shade. I hope this is like a lipstick. Oh my goodness. And then that is Botanic Juice. That is a really, really beautiful palette. That is a stunning palette. I actually cannot wait to get this all over my eyes. Okay, I think I've decided I want to do a kind of a cut crease moment with this. So the first shade I'm going to go into is Incense, and I'm going to hope it doesn't look shimmery on my lid. I'm going to hope it stays quite satin on the lid, just like it did in the swatch. But I'm going to go into the crease with this because it's like the nudiest shade, and then we can cut the crease and it will just be like this beautiful nudie crease going on. Oh my god, that is such a beautiful shade. Oh my gosh. I'm also going to just drag this shade underneath my lid just because it's so neutral and so nudie. I just feel like it's going to just be like a really nice base just to define the lower lash line as well. I don't know if this will like stay in the lower lash line, if that makes any sense. Like I might put a more vibrant colour underneath, but just for now it will just define the lower lash line nicely. I think what I'm going to do to really intensify that crease again is add a little bit of the shade Botanic Juice. This one right here, just a touch into the crease, just to kind of really make it a little bit darker. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll soon find out. Yeah, that works. It's kind of giving it a little bit more depth to it, so when we cut the crease it won't just look like a bland nude crease. I kind of want there to be a little bit of something something there, and I feel like that Botanic Juice shade is really just melted in with the Incense shade that we've already got going on. Really, really pretty, really like that. And then I'm going to just take a little flat shader brush and just take some concealer. I'm just going to use the Jouer concealer because that's what I've already got on my face. And I'm just going to pat this concealer on just like this. Make sure it's all nice and thinly spread. That's kind of like the trick I find with concealer. Like when you're doing a cut crease with concealer, I find that if you spread it nice and thinly, the shadows stick on nicer as well. I'm also actually, I've just decided, just going to take it out a little bit to the outer corner actually, and kind of swoop like that. Like that kind of looks kind of cute, I think. Okay, I want to do something that's kind of like risky, but kind of I think will look really cute. I'm going to take the shade Venom on this flat shader brush. It's just like a packing brush. It's not as flat as the MAC one I've just used. Like you can see the difference. This one's a bit more this one's really flat on the left, and this one on the right is a little bit, or should I say your left, I think. Anyway, this one is a bit more thicker. I'm going to take Venom and I'm literally going to pack it on top of where we put that concealer. Interestingly enough, when I blend this, it's turning more into a purple than it is a magenta, which is interesting. I'm just going to go back into Botanic Juice. I think what I want to do is take Alchemy, this one right here, on like this really fine liner brush and kind of go, this could be a complete mistake, but kind of go with the line of the creases. I should have probably put some glitter glue down. That shade is truly beautiful, truly beautiful. And I'm also going to shove a bit of the Alchemy in the inner corner as well. I mean, it's not like a traditional highlighting shade, but it's bright and it's gleamy, so that's where I'm going to put it. I think for a little bit of sparkle, I want to tap in Bucolic Baby. It just looks like that. I just want to tap that over the entire lid maybe, or just like on the centre actually, for a little bit of sheen. I'm just tapping that lightly. This does have the potential to be really metallic, but I'm just tapping it slightly just for a bit of interest. Oh, it's really pretty. And then I'm going to take this little fluffy brush and go into the shade Blackberry and then just intensify this outer corner a little bit, just to give a tiny bit more depth and light to the situation. I'm also going to take it and run it very softly on the lower lash line as well. I'm actually also going to take a tiny bit of Botanic Juice just on the same brush I've been using for that Blackberry shade, and just take it and kind of smoke this lower lash line out a little bit more, just so it's not too neat. I kind of like, look at the difference there. I just want a little bit more smokiness happening. I'm going to go back into the Alchemy 2.0 shade, and I'm just going to re-intensify where I put it earlier, just where we kind of knocked it away a little bit. Okay, I've used every shade in the palette, so I'm going to put some mascara, some lashes and a lip on, and I will be right back to give you my final thoughts. And that is it. That is the complete look using the NABLA Cutie 5 Wild Berry palette. I'm actually obsessed. It's more of a purple look. I actually really like it. I think the Alchemy shade, like as I was applying my mascara, like the Alchemy 2.0, it's kind of like gone adrift. So probably wouldn't use that again in the crease because the glitters have kind of gone a bit everywhere. That is one thing I'd say about these NABLA palettes, as I have noticed with all three, that the glitters, or like the, not the glitters, but the shimmery shades, like the glitters in the metallics and the shimmery shades, they do tend to go a bit adrift across the eyes, which doesn't bother me too much, but obviously it's not very good for detailed work. But to be honest with you, are you really going to be doing detailed work with a £6 eyeshadow palette? I don't know, but I really like this palette. I think it's gorgeous. I love purple tones. I love berry tones. This to me is just such a lovely colour story, and I really like it. Of course, I did do a look to try and incorporate all 6 shadows, but to be honest with you, I feel like just maybe some Incense with a bit of Bucolic Baby just dusted across the lid, maybe a bit of Blackberry just to deepen out the inner corner, or just something similar to that would look really pretty. To me, the 50-50 split of mattes and shimmers is perfect. Like, it's a perfect split for me. You could even say that Incense wasn't really a shimmer, it's more of a satin, because I've put it in my crease and it was absolutely fine. So actually there are more mattes than shimmers in this palette in contrast to the other 2 palettes. So I think actually this might be my favourite palette out of all 3, which I'm really surprised, because I thought the Platinum palette would be my favourite because it's more of a cool tone story. The Metropolis palette was a bit of a gamble for me, like it was a bit of an exciting, like, let's just try it. But the Wild Berry palette, you guys, it's actually really gorgeous. I feel like it's the most... I feel like some people are going to find this the most wearable palette out of all 3, simply because it's kind of like berry tones like this are very easy to pull off. I feel like if you get rid of the Venom shade, it's just like a pinky rosy toned berry palette, and I really like it. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, do not forget to give me a good old thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy these sorts of videos. I'm interested to know if you've seen all three of these videos, do you prefer things like that where I split videos up or split palettes up, things like that, and talk about things in a little bit more depth and give things their moment? Or would you have preferred if I just did a half hour of all three palettes and just kind of ran through them all quickly? What would you have preferred? I would like to know if this sort of style format of video is more helpful to you. Obviously it's more work for me to divide them up into 3 videos, but if it's more easy watching for you because it's only a shorter video each time, then I'll carry on doing things like that because I want to provide you what you want to see. But yeah, apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't already and ring my bell because then you'll be notified of all the videos I upload. I upload every single week and you wouldn't want to miss out on more content from me, especially when I'm playing with some cool, funky, new, risk-taking, awesome palettes such as these. Oh my goodness, I'm still so excited to play around with these. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. Comment down below anything you like. Anything. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about these 3 NABLA palettes. Which one's been your favourite? Have you watched all 3 of my videos? Which one's your fave? Tell me down below. Love you guys and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!